So hello, welcome back. This is another video on R programming, and so I'll show you how to do a 3D histogram like the one that I've drawn on the plot here on my screen. So I'll show you a step-by-step 3D histograms. At some point create some good visuals, present a better way of drawing stuff. And it's what actually is used by architects to build buildings, to do stuff, to do designing of buildings. So it's a very important aspect in programming. But now knowing how to do that with R, it can be a little bit challenging. And sometimes, because most people are used to doing just dragging and dropping in this ArchiCAD, or is it it should be ArchiCAD, yeah. So that there's a way we do that as well in R, and you notice this looks like a building, some staircase and stuff. We can do that in R, but first of all, we need to understand. So I'll use a global I'll use dataset that is actually on the R global environment. And how do I plan to do that? Let's start off by stating what data I'm going to use. So let's start off by saying so let me say data to be used will be from the R global environment, yeah. So I'll specify and say data in this case will be, so these a data set that has number that represent the number of deaths based on age groups, and it's because it's already in matrix form, that's why I'm using it. So it's called VA deaths. And if you load it, because now it's in the global environment, you'll see it. Then of course we need to see what is that we have as our data. So by that we say let's head that and say let's head VA deaths, yeah. VA deaths, yeah. Guess I'm right, yeah. So we need to see that, we need to understand what is there exactly. So if you run that, this is what we have. So you see here we have this is free, this is class in terms of like edge set, that class thing that we use to do histogram, and this is the edge group, and then we have 4 variables. So rural male, rural female, urban male, urban female. So now we want to do a histogram, something similar, and get to see. Let me just do away with it first. Yes, let me clear that. Then let me now proceed and say, so now the next thing is we need to load the necessary libraries. So which is like the package. The first library that you need to load is the one that is used for plotting all the graphs, that is ggplot. Then the next thing you need to load is plot 3D, because we're doing a 3D plot. So you need to plot 3D visual, so you need to plot to use that library. Then you load them. You can load that, run it, you're done. Now let's get down to the exact business. So let's start now. So let's create the histogram, and in this histogram we need around 17 elements for the plot to be perfect, yeah, to be perfect. Let me drag this one around the right, yeah, for the plot to be perfect. What do I mean? In my hist 3D, yeah, first of all I'll need to specify what I'm using. So what I'm using is, I need to say what is my x, what is my y, what is my angle, and all those stuff, because you're doing you need some phi, the rotation, angle of rotation. You need some how do we say it, you need to see the explosion, because it's a 3D, and of course we have several bars, so we need the explosion to be there. So the first thing you need to specify is the ratio. So in this case, we're giving x in terms of ratios. So 1:5. I plan to have 5 bars on the x-axis. On the y, I plan to have 1:4, only 4 bars, Then z, I don't plan to have anything, but instead use vdets data. Exactly, yeah. So that is the first thing. I'm done with that. So let me go to the next thing. I enter. So the first line is specifying the x and y and z. That is the axes. The second one is color. Or let me first start with phi. That is the angle of rotation. We can do 20. Then we can do what else? Theta. That is the angle. The viewing angle, that is -60, because we need it to face the left hand side, that is -60. Then what else can we do? We can also do diameter of the bars. We need to put them 2-ish there. So that's it. Then we proceed and do what? The next thing is do color. So color of the bars. Which color do you put? Let's put red. Yeah. Red. Then what else do you need to put? We need to put shape, actually shed. We can put shed at 0.8. And then after shed, we need to put borders for the bars, and for the bars we can put black on the shed side. Yeah. So what next? Can actually do this. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 4 extra aspects. I mean, not 4 but 8, because I said we need 17 elements. So what is the next thing that we do need to have there? The next thing is we said the shape. Okay, shed, we already did shed, border. What else we need to add? So now that we're done with let me just disable. No, let me just enter first and make some space here. So now that we're done with this part of putting the bars. Let's focus on what now? The labels. So the first thing is y lab that we need to put at, I don't know, we don't need to put anything. X lab, can put what? So don't put anything. We'll label it somewhere else, because now we need to use another package to label. And then y lab, z lab, we need to put nothing as well. And then main, that is the title per se, that we call it 3D histogram for deaths per gender and location. We call it location. You are either in urban or in a rural area. So that's it. So we're done with that part. So now that is what? How many are they so far? I told you they have to be 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we need 4. We need shape. Do we put shape? Not really. The other thing that I've not put is we need to put box type. We call it BTY. Box type, I think in this case we can use G, so that we have a gray background, And then what else? We need cx.axis. I'm gonna put it at 1. 1 e power -9. That is. What else do we need? Shed. Did we put shed? Yes. And then we also need to put a space between the bars. And space can be 0.2. That is okay. So how many do we have now? 3 plus 4, 7, 10, 13, 17. So there we go. So now if we close that and run this to there, then there we have our guy. As simple as that. This is the general frame. This is the bars, you know, don't they look beautiful? This one you can present it to your boss, by the way. Yeah. So now there's something that is missing. We need to label our axes, because who knows what is on the X, what is on the Y, what is on the Z. So what you need to do is use text 3D to label the various axes. Yeah, various axes. And how do I do that? So text 3D, not really this one, yes, text 3D, sorry, D. The first thing is what do I do? There's a blank stuff that I did, there is here. Yes, so text 3D. So the first thing is you need to say, so X, we're labeling X in this case, so X axis. Let me just do axis, but first let's start with X axis here. Then so the X axis should be in the ratio of 1:5. Why, you know, let it just represent 0.5 to 1:4, you know. Then Z can represent 3:4 as well, you know. That's still okay. It's still okay. That is on the position. Then of course we need to say label. So labels, so in label, then in labels we're putting row names of what? Of VA dates. Yeah. Then what else do you need to put? Color. Do we need to put color really? So and then something else we need to add. I think we need to add then say this is true. You add it on top of the of the chart. Then what else? Adjusting. I think that is adjustment. In terms of justification, we can put it at 0. You know, 0 is still okay. Then let's see if it adds any labels. Yeah, let me first do some spacing, you know. Okay, so if we run this part, what do we get? We have a label. We have a 3D histogram, but now for us to be able to label the chart, we run that. And of course, you see the classes. I mean the edge groups are here. Then next thing is what do we do? We need to use text 3D to label the X. This is the Y axis. The Y axis. Yes. So how do we do that? Then let me just clear this and then drop it so that we have some space. So how do we do that? So for us to label is something simple. You can actually copy this, copy and then paste here. But then this time round it's not row names, but we're putting the names of columns. Then here we can put 4. The line should be 4 here. You can put 4 because now this has to be equal. So 1:2. So in this case now, this time round, Y will take X. We'll take this, copy and paste. Then Y should be the one now to take the ratio this time because we are labeling the Y. So 1:4. Let's see what happens if we run that. Then the names are there. But now adjustment should be 1 because at least we need to have some space. This should be 1. let me see let me see if how this draws. Yes, it's outside. Yes, a little bit outside. Okay, so let's clear that and see. So if you run the whole chart now, this is what we get. Let's expand and see if it is neat. Then we need to also raise. Okay, we can actually do lower this. Instead of 1 on the y-axis, on the x-axis we can put 0.5 to see if that label will be seen better. Yes, that's it. So if you run this, all of this, see, yes, that's it. That's our chart. It's a nice one. Yeah, so this is how you do a 3D histogram. You can present this on a company set.